I started seeing people talking, you know, Burna, how can Burna just say he's not a Nigerian artist? Now he has gotten Grammy, he's denying us. And straight away, I went into Burna's feed and, you know, tried to get an idea of what was going on. So I get the point Burna is trying to make. Burna really and truly cannot be classified as just a Nigerian artist anymore. It's facts.
Like your Burners, your Wiz, you know, even your Yemi Alade's and Tiwa Savage's. You know, Tiwa Savage is saying ole, ole. Yemi Alade saying criminal in Agbada.
Yeah.
These are huge statements.
The new young guys are Black Bones, Oxlade.
They're teaming up together.
They're also teaming up together, cross-promoting each other.
Yeah,
That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And I think that's what needs to be replicated
in Ghana. We
in
need
Ghana
to see
Kwame,
Kiddy, King Promise. Anytime any one of them drops a new record,
promote each other.
Everybody promote each other. Naomi Campbell is one of the most iconic entertainers. Forget fashion world.
One of the most iconic women.
You're listening to Adeshokwe Live, the Afrobeats Podcast.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to another edition of Adeshokwe Live, the official Afrobeats Podcast, where we break down the hottest topics within the culture alongside my celebrity guest in the building every single week. First of all, a big shout out to everybody that's been subscribing, sharing, liking. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel or anywhere, any platform where you get their podcast, be it Apple, Spotify, Soundcloud, wherever it is. Make sure you hit that subscription button. So anytime we upload a brand new one, it catches your attention instantly. And as always, a big shout out to the crew on Yanga Television as well. You can catch us there every Saturday and a repeat on Monday. Saturday at 7:30 p.m. and Monday at 7 p.m. And that's Sky 186, Freeview 171, and I believe it's FreeSat 264. I'm always flipping the numbers around. Listen, but yeah, big shout out to Yanga TV for the support. We appreciate that. As always, joining me in the studio this week is always a returnee, a close ally of mine on For the Love of Afrobeats podcast, where we work regularly together, constantly looking at the pop culture news. Even when I don't see, he sends it to me via DM like, yo, what do you think about this? Is my brother Mr. Schmooze, or should I say...
We retired that name. We are going through a rebranding process.
Is it? So it's not going to be Mr. Schmooze anymore?
No, it's not. It's just Dignified. That's the name. Dignified.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Afrobeats Podcast, Dignified, my
the
brother.
one and only. Thank you very much.
And you look dignified as well. The beard looks like he's enjoying a different kind of life.
Yeah, it's all part of the brand.
Before we get into the headlines, I'd like to give a big shout out to our partners, Shoobs.com. Of course, Shoobs is the leading discovery hub for Black culture experiences, bringing you the latest events, music, and news. With Shoobs, you can discover and buy tickets to the best events happening in your city to satisfy your every need. If you're on a hunt for bottomless brunches, the latest Afrobeats concert, or just a banging night out, Shoobs has got you covered. Shoobs is at the center of all experiences, whether you're an event organizer looking to sell out your event or looking for the perfect event to attend. Visit Shoobs.com and get Shoobs in now. If you're looking for a perfect event to attend, apart from Shoobs.com, you can also check out Smade.com.
Smade.co.uk.
Yeah, Smade.co.uk. We've got events lined up every single weekend from Friday and Sunday at LA Lounge, and we're going to be opening some more spots as the doors open. But for now, it's Friday and Sunday at LA Lounge. That's Chop Life Sunday, and Friday is Afrobeat Friday. So make sure you come out and check that out. Smade.co.uk.
It's a busy summer.
It's going to be absolutely crazy. Now, some of the headlines we'll be looking at today are Diamond Platinum slamming Forbes for the richest African artist list. Naomi Campbell welcomes her daughter. South Africa Music Awards nominees, of course, announced this year. And Davido celebrating his daughter's birthday in the States. And another princess in Lagos, and lots more. Now, we're going to start in Tanzania, where it's been announced this week that superstar singer Diamond Platnumz announced signing for international record label Warner Music via their South African-based label. Now, the singer is considered one of the biggest stars in Africa, making noise from his East African base, performing to thousands of fans regularly in stadiums, and also boasting of some of the biggest Pan-African hits in the last couple of years, such as Yope Remix and now Wah featuring Koffi Olomide. The deal with Warner is reported to be a 360 deal, which also brings Diamond's Wasafi label and artists under the Warner umbrella. Whilst making a post on his Instagram about the new deal, Diamond fired shots at Forbes for their article detailing the richest African artists, which listed Diamond as number 8 or 9 on that list. Yeah. So he said, and I quote, "Forbes, next time Google me to know what I'm really worth before putting on your silly richest African musician list." End quote. It's a different word he used there, but we chose silly. Now, first of all, when the news broke on social media that Diamond Platnumz had partnered up with Warner Music with the pictures that he posted up, Diamond's always fantastic with his images.
Yeah.
The branding is ridiculous.
Nobody does marketing like Diamond
Oh
Platnumz.
my God.
Nobody does it.
That's probably one of the few artists in Africa that brands are very happy to partner with because he goes the extra mile when he's promoting the brands.
Gives them visibility in the best light possible.
Not only his Pepsi deals, his mobile telephone deals, his detergent deals, but this one was the same. Yeah. What were your thoughts when this announcement was made? And how do you see this deal?
I mean, for Diamond Platnumz, it's been a long time coming. He's gone from being an independent artist, built up the Wasafi brand to not just a record label, but a whole media platform with a TV station, radio station.
Yeah.
He's been, from his platform, we've had artists like Rivani,
Harmonize, Zuchu now, Bosso.
These are some of the hottest artists from East Africa in the last 5-10 years.
Facts.
So this deal with Warner Music is only right, and it's I think first of its kind for an independent label. We've had the Chocolate Cities in Nigeria.
Yes.
But this is a label that was started from the ground up by the artist, and then he's taken it to that point. So I mean, full credits to Diamond Platnumz.
What about the fact that we, because over the last decade, when anything is said to be a 360 deal, it instantly leaves a negative connotation in our minds because of what we've heard from hip-hop artists in America. So the minute some of us saw the 360 deal, I'm thinking, are they coming?
It's a red flag.
Yeah, it's a red flag. What are your thoughts about that?
I agree with that. I understand that there's some concerns around that, but at the end of the day, I'm sure Diamond Platnumz would have looked at
protected Africa,
protected the interests of his artist as well as his business because he's also invested in it.
Yep.
So, this for him, I believe, can only be a win-win. If this involves them getting them more exposure outside the territories that they already dominate, then, why not? So at the end of the day, it's like, what does Diamond stand to gain from this? Partnering with a big organization means bigger opportunities, newer brands to work with, newer territories, bigger marketing budget. So why not? Let's do it.
I believe that the 360 deal, especially for the international situation, was almost inevitable for artists like Diamond, who by himself had done, don't get it twisted, he'd done amazing things. He came out of the East African stable like we've seen no other East African artist doing in the past. He collaborated with everybody across Africa, from South Africa to Nigeria to Ghana. He had some of the biggest smashes. He was investing just as much money as Nigerian artists were investing in their music, their videos. He has some of the most iconic music videos out right now, ridiculous. He's had collaborations with international artists in the past. Rick Ross is one of them. Omarion is another one.
I think he has some
Neo is another one. So he's by himself, and his partnership with the Black Bottle, what's that? Bel Air. He's been able to collaborate with international artists and whatever. But I believe now they're starting to think, you know what? He's got the most subscribers on YouTube of an African artist. He was the first artist to hit 1 billion views on YouTube. So they know that he's gotten the exposure. He has made a huge splash on Africa. It's time to look internationally. And for them to be able to carry, to be able to gain more traction, it will make sense to partner up with one of the biggest labels. One, I believe, is, that's where Burnaboy is. That's where Omale is. That's where Chocolate City are. So it's a no-brainer.
It is.
But for me, I also want to look at what they'll be bringing to the table.
I totally understand that. I just wanted to add something to that regarding 360 deals. The reason why they're so popular in, let's say Africa, is because unlike other developed territories or markets, labels or music artists don't make a bulk of money from, streaming, royalties and things like that. Most of the money, a significant portion comes from branding, touring. So, if you're looking to make money just off streams, you're going to struggle if the artist isn't popping like that.
It's going to take a while before you see your residuals.
Exactly. Maybe East Africa and South Africa, that's, where you get really good streaming numbers from locally.
Because of the internet access.
Exactly. But outside of that region, what happens? If it's not performing or partnerships, there's little money to be made. So this is why 360 deals are big in Africa. And this is probably one of the things that Warner has looked at, and probably Diamonds has also pitched to them that, look, we're going to make money here, but there's also money we can make as partners in touring, in merchandising, and, it makes all the sense.
What about his criticism of Forbes for the article where they listed him in the top 10, where they had the artists like Wizkid and David and, and all of these guys ahead of him in the ranking. And a lot of us are aware that regardless of how much money, we are aware that the likes of David and Wiz and all these other artists have. I doubt anyone has publicly invested his money as Diamond Platnumz has. In quote, publicly with the TV station, with the radio stations. These are companies that will bring him money as well. So what were your thoughts about him slamming Forbes and just that list generally?
I have a few points on this. First thing is, when I saw that reaction from Diamond, I went to look for this list. And I found this list everywhere on different websites except the Forbes website. So that to me gave me a red flag that, okay, what's going on here? A few websites have said alleged Forbes list, So for me, it's like, I don't even know if this list actually came from Forbes or some random blogger has just put it on somewhere and it's caught fire and gone around the internet.
Wow. So
for me, it's like, did Diamonds do his homework first before slamming the brand like that? So that's number one. Number two, at the end of the day, I think these lists are very unnecessary.
Absolutely.
Because at the end of the day,
it's for
only
bragging rights.
Your accountant, and maybe your banker know exactly how much you're worth.
Absolutely.
So for Diamond, he probably saw his name number 9. They gave him some figure, and he's probably double or triple that number, and he's thinking, what are these people talking about? Like, do they know who I am? So that I understand that reaction, but at the same time, I feel like Diamond should have done a bit of research first. Is this really real? Did they really do this before going to slam them, on social media? Because again, now we're just talking, he's partnered with an international brand.
Absolutely.
We need to see more restraint.
Yep.
Before going to react on social media to things like
and,
that.
And to round up on that point, I believe about a year and a half ago, CNN put out a top 10 list of African musicians of this generation that were impactful. And in that top 10 list, they omitted a small Davido.
Can you imagine?
And I thought to myself,
exactly.
Even though David didn't say nothing, I was kicking and screaming. I'm like, somebody's got to be fired. Who's on the PR team?
Who put this list together?
Who sanctioned this? CNN must have contacted
Was this
the
somebody
radio
in
label.
Australia that's...
I'm like, the record label should have been contacted. How could they? I was kicking and screaming, but David and his camp probably would have seen it and they just let it slide. And that's exactly the type of restraint that you're talking about,
can't react
especially
to everything.
at this international level.
Exactly. You can't react to everything. You see a lot of things that will provoke you every day. But, sometimes you have to just say, this isn't worth the energy. If it isn't worth the time, let's leave it alone.
Let's just let it go.
Or if you are Wizkid, leave it for Wizkid FC. They'll take care of it on Twitter for you.
Well, over to the USA, where iconic supermodel Naomi Campbell announced via social media that she welcomed her baby daughter to the world. Naomi announced the birth of the baby with a cute picture of the baby feet with the message, and I quote, "A beautiful little blessing has chosen me to be her mother." So honored to have this gentle soul in my life, end quote. Well, the 50-year-old was congratulated far and wide, with members of the fashion world and the entertainment industry sending congratulatory messages to her and the baby. Naomi Campbell is one of the most iconic entertainers. Forget fashion world.
One of the most iconic women. One of the most iconic women in maybe the last 10, 20 years?
Nah, the last 30 years.
Yeah, I've known her all my life.
30 years.
If I count most popular women I know or I know of, she's probably going to be in the top 10, top 15.
Facts.
So she has been iconic. She has influenced a lot of women all around the world.
Facts.
A lot of black people, men and women alike.
Yes.
You can make it at the highest levels internationally. So I would say, she's not just iconic in fashion. She's not just an entertainer. She's transcended that. I believe that's too little.
Absolutely. I completely agree with what you said there. She's also put her name and her brand behind a lot of charitable organizations, as well as, putting her name, her power, brand behind promoting African popular culture.
Exactly.
What she's done over the last 3 or 4 years in promoting Afrobeats and some of our African entertainers is unprecedented. Coming from where she's come from, her love for Kenya is documented, her love for Nigeria is documented, her love for South Africa is the same, her love for Ghana can't be, it continues. The way she embraced the continent has made us huge fans of Naomi Campbell, more than we've ever dreamt. I saw her with the Michael Jacksons and all of these stuff around the world, but the way she's embraced my culture has put her in a completely different space in my heart for life. And then this picture and this announcement of, her becoming a mother at 50. And a lot of people that know Naomi Campbell, especially recently, have said to me that the one thing about Naomi Campbell, especially those that meet her in recent times, is the nurturing spirit. The wanting to, just shower you with love.
Care for you.
Exactly.
Support you.
So it looks like the little princess came at the right time.
Perfect timing. I mean, congratulations to Naomi, and it also shows it's never too late.
Yes.
For, people.
Science and technology
it's never too late. It's never too late. She's 50 and, she's been blessed with a child now, which is, one of the most beautiful experiences you can have as a human being. I haven't experienced it yet. I hope to. But, I can only imagine the joy she feels right now. This is probably more than all the success she's had, all the wrong way she's walked through, all the contracts she's signed, all the endorsement deals. This is a whole new level or a whole new chapter for her. And, I really hope that, she gets to enjoy it to the fullest and all the joys that come with it.
Absolutely.
She experiences that.
I shared a meme on social media where they put it on Twitter that they spotted Naomi's baby leaving the maternity ward, leaving the maternity ward in some incredible catwalk and high heels.
The apple doesn't fall far from the tree, does it?
Listen, man, it's incredible. And I just think that, with the relationship she's built around the world, some of her super, rich celebrity friends like P. Diddy and co, the love that she showed their kids. I bet all of those folks
There's a lot of goodwill.
wait. Yes.
A lot of goodwill for this baby. A lot of goodwill. And again, lesson to all of us, do good so a lot of goodwill can, pass on to your own kids,
Facts.
It doesn't end today. It doesn't end today.
That's real talk there. Now, over to Nigeria, where Davido threw a lavish birthday celebration for his firstborn child and daughter Imade just a week after attending the birthday celebrations of his daughter Hailey in the States. A video was also shared of Imade receiving an expensive designer bag from her dad before the lavish party attended by other celebrity kids such as her good friend Jamil, who is a superstar singer Tiwa Savage's son. As the images have shown, Davido takes his daddy duties seriously and is laying, he's really active when it comes to his kids' lives. To have gone across the waters in a space of days to be there for both kids celebrating their birthday. First of all, let's talk about that and how important that is, not only for Davido, but most especially for the kids.
The fact that despite the success, despite the busy schedule,
Yes.
despite, being in different parts of the world, that he still makes that effort to be there for his kids. This is not the first time we've seen David go the extra mile for his kids. He's been very, publicly, he shows them love. He publicly, shows his interaction with his kids. And that's a very beautiful thing to see.
Yep.
And it's also, for other artists watching, it shows that, you have no excuse to not be in the life of your child.
Facts.
So, some people might say, I'm always in the studio, whatever, but you can still make out time to be there for things as little as birthdays. These are very key things for children.
These are strong memories.
These are the things they remember. You can send them gifts all the time, but these are the things they remember. My daddy was here on my birthday. When they look at the pictures, the photo albums, they see daddy there, they see mommy there.
Active.
It gives them joy, And they might not know the value now, but once they start to grow old in their teenage years, when they're not as they don't want to be seen with daddy too much. He's not so cool anymore. That's the time you start to appreciate those moments, And David, credits to David. He really makes that effort. He easily could have said,
I've sent money. I'm in
have
the
fun.
States. Have a good day.
I don't even want us to open a new chapter, but this same week we saw a mini scandal for another artist that's allegedly been a deadbeat. So when we have a David, being
active,
super present despite the
visibly.
very busy schedule. And then, there's another artist that's supposedly or allegedly been a deadbeat. It's not a good look.
Some shots from the
It's not a good look. And, let's even put the personal side out of things now. Business-wise, if I'm a brand, that's good. David looks like a family man.
That's a different bag that's coming.
Yeah, that's a different bag that's coming. You're presenting yourself as a family-friendly brand that I can associate with.
Facts.
And, it's also a good look there. So all the way wins for David. And this party looked really lit. It was called Imachella. And they had a whole theme, the theme of the festival the VIP passes and all of that. And I was like, wow.
And the funny thing is, another thing that I noticed was how an artist like Davido has kind of cleverly carved a future and a legacy for his kids. Yeah. Where Imade is now becoming a brand ambassador at
she
6
got a
years
deal.
old. Yes, where Hailey has, maybe she's got an Instagram account that the mother's building on that side.
Yeah.
So now that their father is on top of the world and very active, he's using...
capitalizing on that.
Star power to push his daughters and his kids into the public domain. They might not be taking advantage of it now, but ultimately when they get to a certain age, when they can start to... Absolutely.
It's a good foundation for them to build on.
And I just think that's fantastic, I think even before the birthday, he must have bought the mom or her a range.
Yeah. Well, it was for the child.
Yeah.
He presented it. Which,
absolutely.
We
all know that
good.
Mommy is the one that's
pulling it up.
But he also gave her a bag, a designer bag, expensive designer bag. But listen, if Mommy can't use that one because that one's small, listen. But
we'll make it work one way or another.
But it's very important what you said there. I think is not only great for the kids, it's great for his brand. Yeah. It's also fantastic for all the artists, young artists that find themselves as young daddies. And sometimes it doesn't take too much. Yeah. Just to
These are the little things. These are the little things. You don't even have to do a big birthday party. Take your child to the park. Just be present. It makes a difference.
Absolutely. Now, staying in Nigeria, where Kilometre singer Burnaboy caught the headlines for some comments made on Twitter to a user who he had a back and forth with. Now, the drama started with a user saying, and I quote, "Burnaboy go soon leave Twitter Naija for una."
Yeah.
End quote. To which he responded, "Me, we no even be Nigerian artists." End quote. Well, soon after that, another user then came back with a response saying, "But you they promote African culture. You they deny your own motherland. All na showbiz as usual. LMAO." Burnaboy now once again responded, "I'm from here and I live here because because I love my home and my people. You know, pass like that. I don't make money from Nigeria. Now only cruise stay here.
Straight facts.
Once he tweeted that, Twitter went crazy.
Yeah.
With headlines such as Burnaboy denies being a Nigerian to others as extreme as Burnaboy says he didn't make any money from Nigeria, etc. Well, he got so heated on social media that in just a few hours, Burnaboy began trending in the UK with over 30,000 tweets registered in little over 2 hours.
Yeah.
Now, the back and forth continued with Burna telling a fan to leave the negative and suggestive tweets alone as it was being orchestrated by only 2 sections of fans, which made people think he was talking about the Whiskey FC and the 30BG crew. First of all, Burna's comments.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts?
So coincidentally, I happened to be on Twitter when this thing started
Are
off.
you for
So I started seeing people talking, Burna, how can Burna just say he's not a Nigerian artist? Now he has gotten Grammy, he's denying us. And straight away, I went into Burna's feed and, tried to get an idea of what was going on. So I get the point Burna is trying to make. Burna really and truly cannot be classified as just a Nigerian artist anymore. It's facts. He is of Nigerian artist. He is of Nigerian heritage, but Burna is now a global property. He's an international property now. He's an international star. He's a global star. So that's the point he's trying to make. I'm not a Nigerian artist anymore. I'm a global star anymore. Don't limit me, is what he's trying to say. And facts, he doesn't make much money anymore from Nigeria.
People hate to hear
they hate to hear those things, but it's facts. Shout out to Joey Aken. He made a point. He said, how many Nigerian fans actually stream music? How many?
Pay on Apple, Spotify.
How many pay on Apple, Spotify? We're not talking about free downloads. How many of you, when it's time to go to buy merchandise, buy
Burnaboy outfits and trainers and tracksuits and stuff.
So Burna makes his money on, like many other artists now, make their money on streams from, the diaspora. When they go on tour, they go to the UK, they go to the US, they go to Afro Nation Festival, they go to festivals all around the world. They get their coins. So, now they come to Nigeria
just to catch cruise.
And that's fine. So when was the last time you saw Burna Boy performing in Nigeria? Not last year, not the year before.
Wow.
What are we saying? So,
to be honest with you, the first thing that came to my mind was this. He was just joking. Like, first of all, it's not that deep. When he said, I don't make money. Another thing that I've tried to, I think I must have spoken to you about it. I've spoken to a lot of people about it, that text talk.
Yeah. The tone.
A lot of people would always, most times,
misinterpret it.
Yes.
Yeah.
If he had said that with his face smiling, said, me when no be Nigerian artist, instantly that became, you take that differently. Yeah. If he says to you that, listen, I just love my family, I love my home, I don't make money here and I only cruise, nobody would have felt it that emotionally. Yeah. But again, when people are reading messages, it sounds and it looks a lot more terrible than it actually is. Yeah. And then when you're talking about him not making money from Nigeria, I said people always get emotional when artists say that. But like you said, it is facts.
How many?
Nigeria has given him an amazing platform that the entire world celebrates him on today. Yeah. However, the bulk of the income at the moment is being made outside of the country. Yeah. And that is a fact. Yeah. Again, once we say that on Twitter and couple with that with, a lot of fans that don't like him anyway, think he's, they go hard on it. I was surprised. Like, people went 30,000 tweets. I posted, I screenshotted, I put that up. I'm like, what is going on Twitter? Yeah. And it was so bad that he even came back a couple of times to kind of speak to his fans to be like, don't worry, man, just leave it alone. Yeah. And for me, what I've started to realize, as much as Twitter can be informative, entertaining, full of banter, it also carries some toxicity.
It can be a very toxic place.
If you're not careful, you can walk down a rabbit hole of a barrage of toxicity. That's mad.
Yep, that's true. I mean, don't forget, this is not the first time Burnaboy has gotten into hot water on Twitter. At the point, he had to
say he was leaving social media
and left it to his management team to run, and he's only just recently come back. And things like this would happen. And again, like the other Twitter user said, Burnaboy might soon leave Twitter and go. And
that was the first thing. The fact that person said that, he will still leave Twitter for
it's facts. So it's like you said, people tend to misinterpret the tone in text sometimes. Yes. Especially when said people already have a perception or a grudge. So what's this Burnaboy saying again? He's not Nigerian. They don't want to read before or the after.
Because look at the message. You promote Nigerian culture. You do. Instantly, that sounded like someone that had become emotional about what they had read. And what Burna said didn't deserve all of that stuff.
Yeah, somebody even responded to that statement, I'm not a Nigerian artist. They said, but you collected money from the Port Harcourt government.
And then he said, only performing artists.
The people that supported him collected money. So, that's what I'm saying. They want to start bringing up unnecessary dirt. And, stirring up a hornet's nest. But, I mean, Burna as well, he's catching crews, but maybe
and then he knows the audience.
While, just leave them.
I think he knows the audience.
Yeah.
He knows that regardless of whatever side of the aisle he stands on, there's always going to be a massive criticism coming from different fan bases.
Yep.
I saw a video where it was like a little podcast where someone was breaking down the fact that Burna had no right to claim that he was an authentic Afrobeat artist that was speaking on behalf of the people. The person broke down his lyrics and said, he had said this, but, he couldn't be compared to Fela because he never showed up and showed out. And, and when you watch people have opinions, which I love, I'm a huge fan of a open press, a free press, a platform where different opinions can come to the table and allow us to really grow. How we grow as a culture is by listening to all sides, no matter how ludicrous your ideas or your opinions sound. There has to be a place for it for us to grow. And when I listen to that, I'm like, that's great. However, it's also a little bit misleading. Because we have to understand that when it comes to the freedom fights and the freedom fighters, everybody has a role. There are different people that are on the streets as guerrilla warfare, guerrilla soldiers. There are people that buy the ammunitions for the guerrilla wars. There are people that invest in the money to the people that buy the ammunitions. There are people that speak on the media. Everybody has a role. What we had in Fela Kuti would never be replicated in the sense that not only was he using his platform to speak about injustices, not only in Nigeria but around the world, but he also put his body and his family's body
on
in
the line.
The line of fire. We will never get that anymore. I doubt it. That we still have Sheung, who is a direct descendant from that. So with that, what we have in that Kuti family, I don't think we can ever have that. But what we have in other people, like your Burners, your Ways, even your Yemi Alades and Tiwa Savages, Tiwa Savage is saying ole, Yemi Alade saying criminal in Agbada. These are huge statements for entertainers of that level, putting their careers on the line to point fingers at the leaders and the government officials who are taking advantage of the people. But do it in such a way that the military does not go barging down their doors and dragging them on the streets.
Exactly that.
So we need to, appreciate what it takes to even be brave enough to sing about the realities that they see, rather than condemn them and say that they are not worthy
at all of any form of recognition or accolades.
Incredible. Now, over to South Africa, where the nominees for the 27th edition of the South African Music Awards have been released, with the king of Amapiano in Kabza De Small leading the way with 6 nominations, and others like DJ Maphorisa, Babes Odumo, also picking nominations, highlighting the current influence of Amapiano on the South African music scene and African music scene as a whole. I think everybody agrees with that. Now, some of the hotly contested categories include the Best Hip Hop category, with the nominees being Nadia Nakai, Boity, and Nasty C. Now, the SAMAs is considered the biggest awards in South Africa, and in recent years have been dogged by allegations of corruption by some of the stars, such as Casper Nyovest. Now, the rapper once claimed that the award organization was disconnected from the culture in South Africa due to its corruption. Now, in a shocking twist, after the nominees were released, singer Kelly Khumalo, who was nominated in the Best Afropop Album category, asked the SAMAs to respectfully I love that. Remove her name from any category that it was nominated in with a tweet. Now, the singer said she respects their work, so they should respect mine by taking my name off the nominees list. She goes further to respond to a Twitter fan who suggested that Kelly was disrespected with the one nomination, to which Kelly responded, and I quote, "How could they disrespect my hard work like that?" End quote. SAMAs, an incredible award platform. You and I have covered this for years.
For years.
There's always a different excitement that comes out once the nominees are released. Before we deal with the allegations of corruption, let's talk about the influence or the dominance of Amapiano. 6 straight nominations for Kabza De Small, who calls himself the king of Amapiano. What are your thoughts about the genre completely holding South Africa by the neck, and actually Africa?
I mean, the genre has exploded over the last, should I say, year? You know, from just being one of the bubbling sounds, sub-genres of South African house. Now it's dominant. It's incredible. You know, and we've seen over the last year, there's also been other parts of Africa like Nigeria, Ghana, all trying to adopt versions of that Amapiano sound. We've seen, you know, artists from all over the world collaborating with South African Amapiano artists to also sort of buy into that movement. So it's a great thing to see that, you know, that genre is now being recognized appropriately on the South African Music Awards. This is a platform that, you know, it doesn't get bigger than that in South Africa. You know, even for the hip hop scene in South Africa, they didn't even get that fast to the front row of the SMAs. So this is a really great thing to see.
Absolutely. Now, speaking about the hip hop community in South Africa, taking a while before it got to the front row of the SAMAs, the hip hop category with Boity Tulo, with Nadia Nakai, with Nasty C. The first thing I noticed were 2 female rappers.
I was going to say that when you were introducing it. It's amazing stuff. It's amazing stuff. For Nadia as well, you know, she's been consistently leveling up since debut, or was it 4 or 5 years ago?
Working with Casper Nyovest, being under the family tree.
Same thing with Boity as well. Boity went from being a TV presenter
to dropping a hip hop.
You know, when she dropped the single,
critically acclaimed album.
So it's a great thing. And it just shows that, you know, the hip hop scene is more. It's spreading out. It's no more a male-dominated scene. Seeing 2 women in the hip-hop category, we don't even really see much of that in the Grammys.
Facts.
We don't see that in the BET Awards.
Facts.
So to see that the SAMAs
is a groundbreaking move.
Groundbreaking thing.
Now
let's big credits to Nadia and Boity as well.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about the continued allegation of corruption and Kelly Khumalo almost taking a leaf out of Casper Nyovest's book, because I believe Casper did that years ago when he asked to be omitted from the nominees list.
You know, this debate will never end. Every time we talk about an award show, there's always some form of complaint or the other.
Even international
awards. Same thing with the Grammys. We had, The Weeknd.
Pulled out
the Grammys. And at the end of the day, it comes down to how these nominees put together. What's the selecting panel? What are they looking at? So with Kelly Khumalo pulling out, I totally understand that frustration. You put your your hard work, your sweat into an album that you
And
feel
it looks like the fans received
the
that album very well.
Exactly. So if she feels one nomination in the Afropop album category
doesn't do it
justice, totally understandable. Again, on the flip side, some people might say maybe you are personally overrating your own work.
Exactly.
There's also that angle to it. But that said, we also have another South African, legend, so to speak, Mukadzi, I think, as well. She was ignored. She didn't get any nominations.
And a lot of people are
and that
talking
was a
about that.
well-received album as well.
Absolutely.
So that's also shocking. This is the same SMAs that did not even nominate Jerusalema, as big as that song was last year, for any awards. So these are the things that now start to raise questions about the SMAs. That what's going on? What's up with your selection process or criteria? What exactly are you looking out for? So again, we might not have the answers here today.
Absolutely, we don't.
We can't say the SMAs don't know what they're doing or they're corrupt, like some artists have alleged.
But if I ask you, especially for award ceremonies and organizations in Africa, particularly in Africa where they are constantly dogged by the rumors of corruptions and allegations and stuff, how would you, if you had, the opportunity to put together an organization in charge of an award ceremony, what would be some of the criteria that you would think will be absolutely pivotal to making this award organization or ceremony have the credibility it deserves?
Transparency. Transparency is key. Transparency in how we select the judging panel, number one. This can be something that's, we elect the members of the panel every year. That process needs to be transparent. What is the selection criteria? We also need to be transparent. Are we looking at album sales? Are we looking at critical response or acclaim? Are we looking from an artistic point of view? We need to have
at the audio and sound.
Sonics. Are we looking at the production? All of that stuff we need to. Are we looking at impact? How much of an impact did they have across the scene, across the culture, nationally, internationally? So all of these things need to be laid out there. We need to say, okay, Jerusalema, international breakthrough, 5 points out of 5. Album sales, 4 out of 5. Let us see all of these things. Then, when we bring out the nominations, when we put out the awards, nobody's going to say, why didn't this song make it there? The song didn't do sales. Yes, you liked it, but
the numbers were not up
the numbers
to the
didn't
top
match
5.
it. Why didn't this song go? Yes, it was everywhere, but impact-wise, did it move the needle? Not really. So these are the things that need to be transparent. We need to know what are the criteria you use in selecting these awards or giving these awards. And I think that way everybody will be less maybe feeling disappointed or disenfranchised, and that's the way to go.
And finally, what would your advice be to artists that have publicly said, listen, I want you to respectfully remove my name from nominations going forward? Because somehow, even though sometimes you can understand the frustrations and the disappointments, but I still feel there's some form of negativity
around that.
Around coming out publicly. What are your thoughts about that?
I think it's always a bad idea. It's fine if you feel like the awards are not, you deserve many more nominations. That's fine. But don't come on social media and then disparage a whole organization, especially for something as, I didn't get enough nominations or I didn't get nominated in the right category. Because don't forget, you're not just discrediting that organization, you're discrediting the partners associated with the organization.
And all the artists that have either received awards or received nominations as well.
So what are the other artists in that same category? Are you saying their work is not on par with your work to be in the same category with your work? So for me, I wouldn't do that. And I wouldn't advise any artist to do that. You can have your frustrations, you can register that privately, or you can choose to not go for the award. Or better still, if you receive the award, don't accept it. That's fine. But don't come on social media, because again, don't forget, social media, nothing dies on the internet. The internet doesn't forget. That can come back to haunt you in 5 years or in 10 years. So, let's be more restrained in our outbursts and utterances.
Now, staying in South Africa, where superstar DJ, artist, and producer Maphorisa got some mixed reactions on social media for his tweet saying, and I quote, "Dating a broke girl is toxic. Shame." End quote. With a laughing emoji. The star received a variety of reactions from Twitter followers who in some cases agreed with him, whilst others slammed him for his remarks, saying as a man, it's his duty to provide for his girl, broke or not. Dignified. I know you've come with a dignified...
I'm on a very dignified demeanor today. So
first of all, let's address DJ Maphorisa.
Yes.
Dating a broke girl is toxic.
I have to agree
Is
with DJ Maphorisa, but let me put my spin on it. Dating anybody that is a financial burden is toxic. I'm not going to call anybody broke, but anybody that's a financial burden can be toxic.
Why?
Well, because, you're on one hand trying to think of how do you stay afloat, keep your own thing going on. And then there's another person that's constantly, hey, top up my phone. Hey, I need to go Nando's today. Hey, I need to go shopping today. That's on top of everything else you have going on. That can keep you up. Those are the things that can keep you up at night, So, yeah, I do agree with him. Dating anybody that's a financial burden is toxic.
It's toxic.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm always thinking, I'm a little bit on the side of the people that slammed him saying, a man, if you are a man, it might be a cake, it might be old school, but if you are a man and you choose to go into a relationship with a woman, your job is to support.
I totally understand.
Fully support.
I totally understand that, and I subscribe to that school of thought.
Yes.
You have to care for your partner, your woman as a man, especially as an African, Nigerian, Yoruba man we are.
You gotta hold it down.
You care for your woman.
Facts.
You're the provider, you're the protector.
1,000%.
And that's,
But it can't be pressure too.
It can't be pressure, and there also has to be there has to be something in return. At the end of the day.
Money?
No, not money. I'm caring and
Food?
providing. Yes,
Food,
you have to care for me too. I'm caring for you and protecting you. She
has to be cooking.
No, I'm not saying she has to be cooking.
What?
We're modern men. Please. Don't let them call for me on social media. We're modern men. I didn't say that.
So what? That every night when you touch her, she must be ready.
I did.
What is
Chelsea, what are you saying?
I'm asking, what do you want in return for the financial support?
Peace of mind. Love and peace of mind. Whatever that entails, love and peace of mind.
A lot of guys, we always make that phrase like, I just want peace of mind. What is peace of mind when it comes to
peace? Cool peace. Let's just move to the next topic.
Damola he's dignified. He's finding it hard to be honest with himself, what he really wants and what you feel. So what you're basically saying is you're not going to be able to date a woman that's not, financially
Nobody wants
stable.
to date a parasite. That's what I'm saying. Nobody wants to date a parasite. So if I'm caring for you, if I'm providing, or if I'm providing for you, I need to feel some sort of, there has to be some sort of
reciprocity.
You don't have to spend on me or anything, but show me love, show me that you appreciate what I do. Don't just treat me like a ATM. And I guess that's what he's trying to say. That's what DJ Maphorisa is trying to say. Don't turn me to the money guy. I only get calls when it's time to go out or time to go shopping or when it's time to top up the account. And after that, what happens next?
Right.
What else are you? How are you inspiring me? How are you pushing me? How are you, helping me have peace, rest? If you're not providing any of that, that can be very toxic.
Dignified, my brother. Well, over to Ghana, the Gold Coast, where a recent interview granted by dancehall superstar Stonebwoy was taken as a shot to superstar Samini and Sarkodie. Now, Stonebwoy said during the interview, when asked about his beefs in the industry, that he only was at it with Shatawale, and the other two in Sarkodie and Samini didn't qualify to beef with him. Once he said that, fans took that as shots fired at the other stars. It must be said that Sarkodie and Stonebwoy fell out sadly during the incredible Black Love concert, whilst him and Samini had a tweet,
Yeah.
as they put it, after Stonebwoy seemed to criticize the industry in Ghana for failing to stand together, as that was the reason Nigerian stars were enjoying more international success.
Yeah.
To which Samini struck back, saying Stonebwoy lacked respect for people like him who had paved the way. Now, this recent interview shows that there was still some friction between them, and I'm sure very soon both stars mentioned would say something back, whether through social media or via lyrics to a song. Now, Samini, I remember when Samini responded on Twitter.
Yeah.
It was at the time when we were celebrating Burnaboy's success at the Grammys.
Yeah.
So Stonebwoy congratulated Burnaboy and used that as a parting shot at the industry in Ghana, saying there was no togetherness, and the fans and people need to come together to ensure that they carry Ghanaian musicians to the level where the world will be able to see the greatness in them and get celebrated at platforms like the Grammys.
Yeah.
When he did that, Samini came hard. What are you saying? That that he was calling Stonebwoy simping and saying, listen, you disrespect me. Do you think they disrespect Two-Face in Nigeria like that? What are your thoughts again about Stonebwoy just giving a little 1-2 jab just to make sure that everybody knows that the settings are still the same?
Yeah. So I don't know, maybe it's me, but from what I could see in that interview, he was asked about the beef with Stonebwoy, Sak, and Samini.
Yeah.
And he was trying to explain that as far as he's concerned, the only beef that he
Really
considered as beef
was Shatta. Absolutely.
The others, he didn't really take
As beef. It was just situations.
It was just situations. Now, of course, people have now seen that to say, oh, they are not, he's downgrading them or he's calling them not on his level.
Yep.
I don't think that's what Stonebwoy meant, I think Stonebwoy really is just trying to say, look,
that's the real beef.
That's the real beef.
Yeah,
and he even hinted that he might even revive that beef very soon. He hinted at that. He did. He hinted that he might revive that beef very soon.
Because that beef was good.
It was good.
Beef was entertaining.
It was entertaining,
I'm
exactly.
Not even gonna lie.
Yeah, so I think it was just a case of misunderstanding, and the same talk about lack of support in Ghana and all of that. That's something we've heard a lot of times, and not even from Stonebwoy alone. We've heard that from Shatta back in the day.
Yes.
So
Shatta has been very vocal.
He has been very vocal
the
about
industry
that.
in Ghana. A lot of people have been very vocal about the industry.
So
in
it's
Ghana.
not just a Stonebwoy thing. And, I understand Samini being upset about it back then, but I do hope that, Samini doesn't take this as another slight. I believe Stonebwoy was trying to explain that, he didn't really consider that to
because
be
they
beef.
didn't go at it.
They didn't go at it. That was just a Twitter exchange. That was a one-off, and then maybe the issue with Sarkodie as well.
It was just it was a personal kind of one-off thing.
Yeah, but with Shatta Wale,
that was years.
That was on site. They were attacking each other physically at events.
That was years.
So I totally understand.
But what about this consistent conversation and chatter about the Ghanaian music industry not being supportive of its artists, its creatives? We've heard that in Nigeria. We've heard that in South Africa. We've heard it in Kenya. It looks like it's a running theme across Africa. You've heard it in Cameroon. However, because of the success that the Nigerian musicians have, a lot more industries across Africa feel it's a lot more hunky-dory in Nigeria, but it's really not. What would you say to some of the the folks in Ghana that believe that maybe it's a lot better in Nigeria, for example?
Number one, the grass is never greener on the other side.
Facts.
Yes, and in Nigeria, it's not all hunky-dory like you've said, but compared to other African countries,
there's a little bit of structure.
There's a little bit, not even structure, but more support for local content. And we don't like to give the government credit many times, but there was a law passed a few years back, the local content law that mandated, I think, 40% or 60%, 70% of music played on Nigerian radio stations to be of Nigerian origin by Nigerian artists. Now, I don't think similar laws exist in other countries. I know it doesn't exist in East Africa, in Kenya, for example. There was a lot of noise. Because if you go to Kenya, there's more Nigerian music played on radio.
Cameroon.
Same thing in Cameroon than actual Kenyan or Cameroonian music. So this will make the artists on ground feel like our radio stations are not supporting us. Our media platforms are not supporting us.
How do we get to the next level?
Get to the next level.
Facts.
Our artists are rock stars in these other African countries. In Ghana, outside of Ghana, if Stonebwoy goes to Nigeria, maybe in Lagos, he still has to, grind to get some attention and recognition. But maybe, just maybe, if Ghanaian media platforms are supporting them a lot more, the artists as well, were cross-promoting each other a lot more, things will go further.
Yeah.
In Nigeria, yes, we don't have it. It's not perfect.
Yeah.
But you definitely see a Two-Face pushing the new cats.
Yes.
You definitely
Don
see
Jazzy
Don Jazzy pushing everybody.
Yeah.
Now we see the new young guys, Black Bones, Oxlade.
They're teaming up together.
They're all teaming up together,
Joe
cross-promoting each other.
Yeah,
That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And I think that's what needs to be replicated
in Ghana. We
in
need
Ghana
to see
and all the other
Kwame,
artists.
Kiddy, King Promise. Anytime any one of them drops a new record,
Promote each
let
other.
everybody promote each other, and it crosses. And then another thing is investing in going to other markets. I've said it a million times. And big shout outs to Stonebwoy, big shout outs to King Promise, Jackie, the newcomer Jackie. These are people from Ghana who are
Mr.
stars.
Easy as well.
But they've gone. Mr. Easy is Nigerian.
So I'm giving him to Ghana. I'm giving him to Ghana.
He's
for his guys as Ghanaian as it
Don't
is.
sing. He's Nigerian.
I know. No, I'm just saying.
You remember that skit that they did one time that they put one guy was like acting as Mr. Comedian Ebi, that they put him in like a trash can and they just went to dump him
in Ghana. No, but Mr. Easy is the reason I mentioned Mr. Easy is because he has gone across the continent to try and build relationships, and that's something that I believe every artist needs to look at.
Everybody. We see the likes of Yemi Alade doing that as well. It's very important, especially
Diamond
for Ghanaian
Platinums.
musicians that have incredible talent and content. Just go into the other markets and showcase that content and talent. You will be surprised at how you will be embraced. I bang it every time when I'm speaking to people. Shout out to Becca. She's done that. People like Miss V and Kwame and Kitty. I'm like, just go. Go and start and build from a different level. People will love you when you come out there. And that would also help the home industry to support a lot more. Because what usually happens, unfortunately, when the child is doing from outside.
The African proverb, a child is not celebrated in his hometown. It's when they see him shining outside that
everybody wants to see. That's my son.
Yeah, I raised it. You don't know him. He used to sing in the church that time. You used to see him in the church. That's him now.
Now, we switch lanes over to Nigeria, where singer Scales went on Instagram to call out entertainer MC Galaxy, saying he couldn't wait to catch him and beat him for whatever reason. Well, after the post went viral, MC Galaxy took to his Instagram page, throwing shots at Scales, saying, and I quote, "Broke boys where they collect money from women. They make noise, laugh out loud. Well, let me know when you are ready for the fight, idiot," end quote. Well, it looks like, and he ended the message with the word beggar as well. For me, Scales' post came out of nowhere. I was like, MC Galaxy, where? There was no
relationship. Where's the connection?
What happened? And then when I now saw MC Galaxy's post as well, what are your thoughts about the fact that somebody as high profile as Scales, he ignited that confrontation?
Whatever it was, because we still don't know what was influenced or sparked that, but whatever it was, bringing that to social media was a no-no. It's a no-no. I think the theme of today's episode has been restraint.
Absolutely.
Not everything needs to come to social media, number one. An artist of Scales' caliber, I think he has a new project out or a new
He's got
single
singles
out
coming.
He's been pushing. He's been promoting stuff.
He's got amazing work coming. Trust me.
So you don't want to distract or deflect the attention from that with this. This is not what we expect to see. And even MC Galaxy is an OG at this point.
He's been around for a minute.
He's been around for a minute. I know he's just opened a restaurant and all of that. He's been promoting that. So why do you want to sort of talking about meet for fights. Are we in secondary school? Meet me outside.
No,
what's that? What's that for?
You
know, so I think it's a no. It's unacceptable, regardless of whatever has happened. They are grown men. They're professionals. They should be able to address this offline.
Absolutely.
Call each other up. Call people around each other.
Send the message directly.
Yeah, and address it.
Absolutely.
There's no need to come online and start threatening each other. That's unacceptable.
Staying in Nigeria, the uproar on social media also kicked off this week when it appeared that Naira Marley had posted on Instagram that he fantasizes about sleeping with a mother and daughter combination in a threesome. And he also specified that he would prefer the mother to be around 40 years old or something like that, to which the social media responded, blasphemous.
Yeah.
Blasphemy. He was attacked by fans, attacked by personalities, influencers who thought the chatter was ridiculous, abhorrent, disrespectful, lacked, all forms of decorum. However, Naira also, I saw other slides that indicated that Naira said that and said, if only, because I respect God or I fear God, I wouldn't indulge in such. So it seemed like he was trying just to get a reaction from the fans. But that type of message on social media, particularly coming out of an African based in Africa, what are your thoughts about that?
I think this is something we said in the previous episode. As an artist or recording artist, you need to be aware of the culture of your audience. Your primary audience,
temperature,
in this case, is, in Naira Marley's case, Nigerians, West Africans. And in our culture, that is a no-no. Talking about mother, child, that's...
threesome.
You can talk about all the other stuff, but...
His last single is titled I'm Coming.
You can skirt around all of that. And we can still, turn a blind eye and dance to it. But there's a red line on certain things that you say publicly. Now, I understand he says it's a fantasy and all of that, but putting that in the public domain is a bad look. It's a foul taste in the mouth. And, of course, that will get people upset anytime.
How much responsibility does artists need to take about certain things that they say? Because if you look at someone like a Naira Marley's brand, that's his brand,
yes.
To be unruly, to be, he adds a little bit of disruption. There's shock value to not only the content of his music, but also to the content of his social media page. So that's in brand.
Yeah, it's on brand, but there always needs to be, where do you draw the line? Where do you draw the line?
Yeah.
And in this case, it went just over the line.
Yeah.
And as an artist, your question is, the answer to your question is, as an artist, you need to take full responsibility for, the comments you make publicly. You're no more a private individual. Yes, you can say, I'm an artist, I have creative freedom, but there also needs to be sort of certain limits where you don't go. For example, in a society like Nigeria, West Africa, you can't just go and cross religious lines in the name of artistic freedom. Likewise, things like this. It's a red line.
Absolutely.
You can't make jokes about rape.
Absolutely.
You can't make songs about rape.
Absolutely.
So why would you make songs about things like this? So as an artist, as a public performer or public personality, you need to watch what you say, especially on the internet, where you know that the young fans that are looking up to you. Yes, some artists say they're not role models. I didn't choose to be a role model, but guess what? You are a role model, whether you like it or not. The day you put that song online and became famous, you became
some people started looking
the day you started accepting brand endorsements, you became a role model. So you also need to be careful of that.
Absolutely. Now over to the States, where the much talked about couple in A$AP Rocky and Rihanna finally laid the rumors to rest. At least on the side of A$AP Rocky, that is. In a recent interview for a magazine, the ladies' man professed his love for the Bajan singer Rihanna by saying he had found the one. He said, when you know, you know. And Riri is the one he was leading a life of monogamy for. Now, the pair had a friendship for years, with A$AP Rocky featured on Rihanna's Fenty skincare line in the past. And over the last few months, images of both in Barbados on holiday had surfaced online, with speculation rife about the budding relationship. Yeah. Even though Riri is yet to confirm or deny the relationship, the fact that A$AP Rocky felt comfortable enough professing his love for her shows that the pair are going strong.
Yep.
Obviously, fans were delighted for the pair, with one section of the fans disappointed with the revelation. Well, Afrobeats fans, to be exact.
Yeah.
We're quick to load iconic producer Don Jazzy's DMs with the news, as he had famously said he found the Bajan singer attractive.
Yeah.
Well, Don Jazzy made a video asking people to stop sending the news to him, as he was fully aware of the developments. And he was just as heartbroken as other people.
You know, just before we dive deep into A$AP and Rihanna, why is it that people, when they see
negative stuff that is not good for you, they want to send it to you,
especially when it's like your ex, when they see your ex with somebody new, do not start flooding your DM? Why? What joy do you get from that? Who asked you, chief announcer? Did I tell you that we don't have Instagram or we don't have news? So I can imagine, you know, what it was for Don Jazzy. But I mean, down to A$AP Rocky, you know, really, really good news for him. You know, it's, again, love is a nice thing to experience. Absolutely. And, you know, if he feels that, you know, he's finally found joy and love in Rihanna, then, you know, I'm very happy for both of them, and I wish them both the best.
That's a very good-looking couple. Yeah. Also a very powerful couple when it comes to entertainment. Yep. A$AP Rocky has been one of the most, you know, active bachelors on the scene, enjoying the riches, his superstardom, incredible stardom, has success with brand affiliations, with music, hip-hop, acting, a host of things. And Rihanna, as pretty much is getting close to being a billionaire. Yeah, you know, as far you know, getting close to being a billionaire. So she's desired by a lot of men, and to have come together with A$AP Rocky, who publicly they've been friends for years.
Yeah, I think they've even gone on tour together.
Yeah,
she's featured in some of his music videos in the past. Yeah, coincidentally, I was just watching that last week.
Yeah,
and I was thinking, oh, that's Rihanna in the video.
Yeah, so the love has been kind of growing for a while, and if you listen to some people, they believe relationships that come from strong friendships might possibly last longer than you would imagine. And he's, you know, said he was giving up polygamy, or his
big move. Well done.
Finally, we're ending in the United States of America, where Prince Harry has caught the headlines again. This time, he's granted another interview with Oprah Winfrey. I believe it's for a documentary series.
Yeah, it's a 5-part series.
Exactly, that will be put out, part of another partnership and deal he signed on since he left his royal duties in the United Kingdom and went to the United States of America for love and family.
You sound a bit like Piers Morgan now. You sound a bit Piers Morgan-ish.
No, I just wanted to make it clear that since he left his royal duties and went to the United States of America for love, for family and his children, the part of the multitude of deals he has signed and the millions he has made, this interview and documentary series is one of that. Yeah. However, what caught the headlines again is his admission to just trying to heal from the sad events of the loss of his mother, and secondly, the pressures that he was put under as a royal growing up. And one particular statement he made was that his father said to him and his brother that, I faced these pressures, I had these difficulties, but you'd have to face it too. Yeah. And he felt that was toxic and should have been broken. Yeah. That it's not fair that because his father felt it, the parents before them, they should also carry that burden. Yeah. It has to end somewhere. What are your thoughts about, again, Prince Harry hitting the headlines in this fashion, especially the week when it's been revealed that the BBC have been admonished for falsely luring the late Princess Diana into an interview with fake news, basically. Yeah. What are your thoughts? It's all just come out.
Okay, so let's split into two.
Yes.
Let's speak about Prince Harry first.
Yes.
So for Prince Harry, he's left the family. Yep. And now he's signing deals and having interviews and things like that. people might have problems with that, saying, why is he speaking about the family or throwing his family under the bus? But I'd say if that's his way of coping and healing, so please let him do it. That's number one. Number two, a couple of the things he raised about, the pressures growing up as a royal, some, I think, turning into drug abuse as a teenager, him being the happiest when he was in the army. These are things that I totally understand in the sense that a lot of times we see young people in the public eye or in the public limelight, young performers, the royal, and we think, oh, these people have it all. But it comes with a lot of pressure.
Absolutely.
Especially for Prince Harry as a royal, where you have to walk a certain way, you have to dress a certain way, you can't be friends with certain people, you can't be seen with certain people. For a young child, that is too much. Even as an adult, a lot of adults find that a lot to deal with.
Facts.
Talk less of a small child, a teenager. And all the while he was dealing with the loss of his mom.
He still had to be a certain way.
He mentioned being very upset that, he had to share his mom's funeral with the world. And I totally understand that.
Because he hadn't even healed from
that. If we look at old footage from the funeral, he's walking with his dad on a busy road behind the coffin. It was too much for a young child. And him saying things like his father saying, he's gone through it, he should be able to get through it. Again, is another mistake that a lot of, I would say adults, I don't even want to narrow it down to a specific community, but it's a mistake that, parents and adults make. I went through it, I handled it, toughen up, you can handle it too. That's a mistake we make because you could handle it, doesn't mean I can handle it.
Facts.
The way you process things is different from the way I process things. You might be more tougher skinned than I am. What doesn't break you can smash me to pieces. So expecting that I'll go under the same pressure test that you did is setting me up for failure. And in your mind, they're like, man up, a man strong up, and things like that. It can be very damaging. So I totally understand what he's going through and some of the things he went through. And from what he said, he looks like he's just starting to heal from a lot of things. And I think to wrap this up, I'll just say, if anybody is in that, going through similar pressures or, just feeling overwhelmed, seek professional help.
Facts.
As soon as you can. Get in touch with a therapist, a counselor, or even speak with a friend.
And start working on
it. Don't leave it till later.
And finally, the BBC being outed as, as providing, as securing, high-profile interview. By Martin Bashir with the late Princess Diana, falsifying documents. What are your thoughts? The BBC is such a huge organization. And to have been, some people have said back in the days during that era, it was something that was publicly done by a lot of media outlets. In trying to secure interviews and exclusives, people went to dire extremes.
I think this is an ethics issue. It's a case of sometimes, in all factors of life, it's not about what you achieved or what you did. It's about how you did it. Okay, you became rich. How did you do it? Rich? You got 1 million streams as a recording artist. How did you do it? Did you buy the streams? Did you earn the streams? That's what matters. So in this case, for an institution like the BBC, that is seen as the highest standard of journalism in the world, broadcasting, they set the standards, they set the path for other platforms to follow. To see that they fell short of that standard, and it was from the report that's come out. A lot of higher ups knew about this misbehavior, and they turned a blind eye to it.
They carried out some kind of
cheeky inquiry, and they just swept it under the carpet. It's very disappointing.
And Martin Bashir, it has to be said that at interview,
he got a lot of awards.
He's a highly does for him. That was the reason he got the Michael Jackson interview
as well,
which I had a problem with, because after that interview, Maury did a behind-the-scenes interview review where the clips that Martin showed us. There were counter clips from Maury that showed Martin there were parts of the documentary where Martin Bashir was telling Michael Jackson that the way you're with your kids are so emotional, where he was praising Michael. But that never showed
in the documentary.
Because Michael, what he did was he agreed to Martin's interview. but he said he was going to his own film crew.
Yeah.
Filmed everything.
Yeah.
So after the Martin interview came out, and they saw how they had edited Michael
everything.
Jackson, making him look crazy.
Yeah.
He now brought that part and revealed it to the world. And guess what? Finally on this, one of the reasons Michael Jackson granted the Martin Bashir interview was basically because his idol, Princess Diana also sat down with this man.
Yeah, exactly. So, you can achieve all the success in the world or all the accolades, but if you did it the wrong way, it would always come back to bite you. This is what happened over 10, 15, 20 years ago.
This is about 30 years now.
Still come back out now.
The late princess died in 97.
Yeah, this is a lesson to everybody, all professionals, whether you're a journalist or not, if you're an athlete, if you're a performing artist, if, anywhere you work, anything you do it the right way. Otherwise, it will come back to bite you. Not today, not tomorrow, maybe next year. You never know.
Facts. And on that note, we end this episode of Audiomack Live, the official Afrobeats podcast. You know where to catch it. Every single platform from YouTube, Apple, Spotify, Soundcloud.
Everything.
Hit the subscribe button. Keep supporting. We appreciate you. A big shout out to Afro Media Studios, Willow Studios, LM Media, Shubs, of course, Smade Events, and my guest, the incredible Dignified, for joining me on this week's episode. Until next time, it's same place, same time, and it's peace. We're out.
Right.